There's a trail in northern Minnesota that nobody puts on maps. Locals call it the Wendigo Trail. They don't hike there, they don't hunt there, they don't talk about it unless they've been drinking heavily and the snow's falling thick outside the bar window. In February of 2012, a park ranger named Travis Marks was sent to find a missing solo hiker in that exact stretch of forest. He was a veteran outdoorsman, calm, rational, unshakable. But something followed him back out of those woods. And after that night, he was never the same. This is what he told his best friend just once, before cutting contact for good. February 11th, 2012. A backpacker named Aaron Talbot was reported missing near the Boundary Waters. Last seen by a snowmobile guide heading toward a frozen lake trail on her own. She had food, a flare gun, a topo map. No signs of mental health issues. No signs of foul play. She simply never came back. Travis, stationed at a remote ranger outpost, was the one dispatched to find her. He'd spent over a decade working these woods, and he'd never lost anyone before. But when he heard the name of the trail, Wapusk's Hollow, he hesitated. His supervisor chuckled and said, "What, you scared of the Wendigo too?" Travis didn't laugh. By noon, Travis was snowshoeing through bitter wind. The trees groaned around him, their limbs heavy with ice. He saw no wildlife, not even birds. But he did find Aaron's tracks. They were unmistakable. Small, neat boot prints, heading straight into the thickest part of the pines. And then they started to wander. They turned back, circled, crossed over themselves. It looked like she'd been walking in confused loops, like she couldn't remember where she was going. But there were no signs of a fall, no animal tracks, no drag marks. Just one last loop. And then, nothing. The prints ended in open snow, as if she'd been lifted straight off the ground. That's when Travis heard it. Not a voice, not exactly. It was like a whimper, soft, echoing off the trees. A woman's voice, far away, saying, "Help! Help me!" He called out. No reply. He moved toward it, slowly, rifle raised. And that's when he saw something. A figure, too tall, too thin, grayish skin stretched tight over a skeletal body. It crouched between two trees, then vanished before he could blink. Travis followed its path and found a torn-up pack. Inside was Aaron's map, her gloves, and a crumpled journal page. Travis camped out, night falling fast. He got no signal on the radio, no GPS, just a fire, and a gut feeling that he wasn't alone. As the flames crackled, he felt something watching. Then came the breath, cold and slow, like something exhaling right behind him. He turned. It stood just beyond the tree line, antlers, gaunt arms that hung too long, eyes like frozen holes in a skull. It didn't charge. It didn't run. It tilted its head, then melted into the dark like smoke in a blizzard. Travis lit a flare, but it was already gone. That night, he didn't sleep. And by morning, something had walked a perfect circle around his camp, Footprints bare, human-like, but wrong, long, boneless, just one set. His. He pressed on the next day, disoriented. The snow looked off, too bright. The trees bent at wrong angles. Sound didn't echo right anymore. And then he saw her, Erin, standing in the snow, covered in frost. Her lips were moving, but no sound came out. Her mouth stretched too wide. Her teeth were too many. Travis blinked, and she was gone. Then he heard his father's voice calling him from deep in the woods, but his father had been dead for 3 years. The Wendigo doesn't hunt the body. It starves the soul. It wears your memories like a mask. It waits until you want to stay and forget who you are. Travis ran. He ran until his lungs bled, until he stumbled onto an old ranger shack with a faded antenna and a frozen radio. He collapsed inside and screamed into the mic until someone answered. 2 days later, he was airlifted out, dehydrated, shaking, covered in shallow scratches he couldn't explain. He never worked in the forest again. He never even returned to that part of the state, but he did talk once to his best friend over whiskey. 3 years later, he said, "The Wendigo isn't a monster. It's a hole that looks like a person. It doesn't eat you. It erases you. And if you hear your name in the trees, don't answer, because it already knows you." Erin Talbot was never found. Her family held a memorial with no body. The official report lists exposure and disorientation, but Travis's journal, kept hidden until his death, tells another story. At the back of the book, scrawled in jagged, frozen ink, were 4 words: "It never left me." If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more Stories in the Dark.